Oh, rename. I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Sylvester, do you like to say hi?
Technology.
You're not asleep behind there, Sylvester. Or have you got a different name also? No? Sylvester, let me start singing now. Sylvester. Okay, Daily. You like to unmute and say hi?
Good evening, Arthur. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. Good evening.
Carol.
Okay, brilliant. Dawny.
Good evening, family. Good evening, family.
Good evening, all.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
I mean, there's two Dawnies, so there's
Isn't
two
it?
Dawnies.
Yes. Well, Dawn, you can say good evening now, Dawn. Are you not saying it now?
Family. Yeah, good. Sorry, good evening, family.
Good evening. Catherine?
Good evening, family. Catherine here.
Good evening, Catherine. Good evening, Awa. Are you going to answer your name, your new name?
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. We've got Mayetta. She has come. We've got their Mayetta now, haven't we? Mayetta. You'd like to unmute? Say hi. Okay. All right. Angela B. Angela? Are you about?
Okay. Yes, I am here. I am here. Hello, good evening, everyone.
Hi, good evening. Good evening. All right. Roy?
Roy Mackenzie.
Roy?
Oh, I could see how it's expanding.
Okay, yeah. Trisha?
Greetings, everyone. Greetings.
Greetings. Norma? I know you just come. Can you hear? Just to say hi.
I can hear loud and clear. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. Good to see you.
Nice. Good.
Sam? Hi, Sam.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Sam,
I can hear you now. Hi, Sam.
Yeah, I was listening to my Black African music women back at home.
Okay.
In Tanzania, madam. I was listening to the music. It reminds me of you.
Oh, thank you.
But of course, you know, these are the women. You know, if you can see them, they are the women, womanhood, madam, womanhood, Mother Earth.
Okay.
Mother Earth. That's what Mother Earth.
Lovely. That's lovely.
I feel very. This is what I call misogyny these days, culture. I feel terrible, more than suffering on my own that I have suffered on that. But you don't touch a woman back at home.
Okay.
At home, back at home, you don't touch.
No, you look, but you don't touch. You look and you admire, but you don't touch.
You don't touch. You don't insult. You don't do it. You do that. You exile from the village. You never come back.
That's right. That's right.
That's African way.
That's
what
right.
I know.
That's good.
That's very true, madam. That's very true of us. That's the true of us. And that's what I say, that if they have to learn, as the true predictor of the future, George Orwell said, in England, till another culture occupies Britain for long, it will remain as far as concerned, it was remain medieval society until another culture occupies for so long to bring it into 21st century. So that's the conclusion, madam, of no other than true prediction of the future.
Okay.
You know,
Okay, Sam. Sam.
madam. Sorry to
I
be
just
the
wanted a
daddy.
hello, you know. That's all I wanted.
No, that's what they want to hear it or not. But that's what we are, we black people.
Yes. Okay.
Exactly, madam.
All
So
right. Thank
we should
you.
occupy for this country for a long time.
Thank
Occupy,
you.
you know.
Thank you,
Occupy.
Sam.
Sorry about but that is, madam. Yeah, sorry. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. DT. DT. You'd just like to unmute and say hi so that we know that nobody's sleeping behind there. DT. Who else has come in? Brother Ken, how you doing? They joined, but they joined in their sleep. Brother Ken, say hi. Okay. All right. I think we can get started soon. Anne-Marie's just joined. Well, she's joining.
Right.
And Carol. Oh, you changed your name, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm Carol.
Yeah.
Last week I was admin. Sorry, it's how it allowed me.
All right, you've got somebody else who keeps on changing their name, and she didn't answer her name last time.
No, sorry. No, but I was admin last week, but it managed to let me in as Carol today. So I'm Carol. I'm a counsellor.
Oh wow!
And I'm a friend of Daly's.
Oh, brilliant! Thank you, Daly, for bringing Carol in.
Oh, you're welcome, Auntie G. No problem.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, thank you. And Sula?
Good evening. You're coming round to me for the second time. Good evening again.
Oh yes, you changed your name.
Is that Anne-Marie Mitchell? Is that Anne-Marie Mitchell that I know? I don't know.
Anne-Marie?
No.
Anne-Marie's gone quiet.
Gone quiet.
You'd like to say hi? Wumi? Or is that your son?
Is that Wumi or Wunmi?
Wumi.
Wumi. Henry.
Hi, Wumi. Can you hear me? No, she's gone.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Oh, I can hear you now. I can hear you now. How you doing?
Oh, not too bad. I was getting problems to getting in, but I got in now.
Okay. Okay. All right. I see you had a little bit of help there.
Yeah, because I couldn't. I was trying to see if it was on my phone or on the internet.
Okay. Okay. Right. Hi. Anyway. Brother Ken, I see you now. Hi. You're going to talk to us now. You say hi.
Yeah, hi, how are you? Hi.
I'm good, thanks. You're doing good?
Yeah, I'm okay, not too bad.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Who have I missed out?
That's everybody.
I've done Norma, Sylvester. Sylvester didn't answer me, did he? And Anne-Marie didn't answer me either.
Right.
I'm hurt now. Okay. All right. And Audrey's still joining. Got Audrey, but she's still joining. All right.
Hello, Auntie Jean. Sorry.
Oh, hi, Anne-Marie. How you doing?
I'm fine, thanks. I've had lots of vitamin D today. I've been out in the sunshine.
Brilliant.
So I'm buzzing, yeah.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Thanks, Jean. And yourself?
I'm good. In fact, I'm great. Thank you.
Yes. Oh, that's lovely to hear. Lovely to hear. Yeah.
I'm great.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. And Audrey?
Is Audrey
Hi. Hi, Audrey.
She's just connecting.
Okay.
Lex.
Has she just gone? Lex is connecting. Pedro's connecting. Hi, Audrey. Can you hear me?
How many was it last week? 20, 22?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. How you doing?
I'm good, thanks. My video's not working.
No, that's fine. I'm just making sure nobody's sleeping behind their windows. Just, you know, just saying hi.
All right, darling.
All right. Okay, Pedro. Hi.
Greetings.
Greetings. Patricia. See, Lex is still getting sorted.
Yeah.
Hi, Patricia. Just saying hi. Oh, she's gone. The internet problems. I think I've.
So we
got
don't get their
everyone.
name, so we don't get their names if their picture is up.
Sorry?
So the only time we actually get their name is when they themselves are not got their camera open.
Yes, you get their names when the camera's not open. And their names is also there when the picture is up.
Well, that's what I thought. So I can't see.
Oh, DT is Dawn Taylor. She's
Oh,
changed
right,
it. Okay.
Got it.
All
I
right.
need to just put my cursor up. Okay.
Okay. All right. I think that's everybody. All right. So welcome everyone to day 2 of Arthur Tomlinson's period module 1. Trisha's just come back. Okay. So Arthur, would you like to introduce yourself to the newcomers that's just started today?
Is there any newcomers that have just started today?
The newcomers? Yeah, I think didn't you have Pedro last time? Wumi?
I'm new. This is my first time.
Yes, Pedro's first time. Yeah, whose is it the first time? Would you like to say if it's your first time, please? Because Sam, you wasn't here, was you? You wasn't here last week, Sam. Okay. All right. All right.
Okay, I wasn't here.
I think I wasn't actually. True, I wasn't.
Okay.
I missed it. I think I was on another.
No, you wasn't here last week, Sam. Oh no.
I wasn't.
And ST, you changed it Sula to ST, yeah?
Yes, yeah.
You're playing musical names with me, aren't you?
Yes, I am. I wasn't here
Really what? What are you choosing me off?
It's okay, that's fine. All right, Sam.
Okay,
We're gonna get on with it now, okay?
Right.
All right. I'm handing over to our brother Arthur now. So we've got to be all ears now. All right. Okay, Arthur, this screen is now yours. Welcome.
Thank you.
Let us know
Is it
what we're
Open
doing
the Box?
today.
Do you remember the program that Open the Box?
All right. What's behind the box? Or what's in the
behind
box?
the box? Yeah, what's behind the box? Well, hi everybody. I hope you've had an interesting week. Those people that were here last and have actually started their pyramid, how have you got on? Has it been okay? Has there been any problems that have been highlighted from those people? So that's everybody other than Pedro. Who else wasn't here?
I wasn't here last week either.
You wasn't there, Brother Ken. Who else?
Sula, I wasn't here last week, but I caught up with the video.
You've caught up with the video. Brilliant.
Yeah, recording. Thank you.
Cool. Okay, Ken and Pedro.
And Sam.
And Sam. If you could, I mean,
and Audrey, was you here last week? And Wumi, was you here last week as well?
Yeah, I was here last week.
Last week, okay.
Yes, I was here last. Yes, I was here last week. Greeting.
Okay.
And I've done the first one, and I'm halfway through the second one.
You're good.
Yeah.
Well done.
Because I want to study. I want to study to go to school to learn the School of Natural Medicine. As I'm dyslexic, it's very hard for me. So I'm just hoping this can be able to help me.
Okay, well, that's brilliant to know. Is there anybody else that wants to do anything technical like what Wumi wants to do? Because there is a couple of things that I want to say other to Wumi more than I need to say to everybody else if she wants to be literal, which is what she is if she's wanting to do that particular study.
Okay, I see. So the question is there, what's the second one? I think it's the second line on your pyramid. But what Arthur's going to do, he's just going to kind of refresh the people who was here last week, and then he's going to do a recap for the. I mean, I'm talking for you, am I? So
no, that's okay.
he's going to do a recap for the newcomers.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Right. So newcomers, if you could, and if you can get the time, if you're enjoying the course and you want to continue. It'll be really, really good if you watch last week's at your own leisure at any time.
Which you can find
on Facebook.
Yeah, on the Auntie Jean on Facebook.
Go on.
Yeah, if you go to Facebook on the Auntie Jean, if you're with the Facebook, then yes. If not, then what I can do is I can send you the link so that you can hook onto it there. So it'll be under Arthur, Auntie Jean's ACM, and with Arthur Tomlinson's Pyramid Module 1. Okay.
Superb. All right, with that.
I'm not on Facebook. Okay, I'll send you the link. If not, what I can do, are you on sorry, are you on YouTube? Okay, all right. I'll do that after.
Oh.
Okay, I'll upload it to YouTube because I haven't done that yet. All right. Thank you. Sorry, Alpha.
No, that's okay. Right, you ready? Okay, so without further ado, let's get stuck in. Right, I'm just wondering which way to go now with people that haven't done this. Right. Okay, for those that was here last week, let's do it like this. For those that was here last week, could you let me just check this quickly because it's somebody who wants to join. That's not the link for tonight's. Have you got Cynthia's address? She's screaming at me to come in, but I've sent her the wrong link.
If it's the same as last week, it's the same link as last week.
It's the same link as last week.
Yeah.
She's saying it's not letting her in.
She's sure she's got the right one. Okay. I haven't got Cynthia's thing, unless you
okay.
Text me or bring her number to me.
Supermarket module 1. Annual. Part 2. Oh no, it's Kishart. Mid.
Okay. While we're waiting for Arthur to
bear with me, people.
do that, I mean, is there anybody who had any difficulties in fulfilling? Hi, wait 1 minute, Sam, because I know you're going to chat forever. 1 second. Has anybody finished or completed or did any of the boxes of the pyramid on the first line from last week?
Yes, I have. And I've completed it.
Oh, what? All of the first line?
The pyramid.
The whole pyramid. You done the whole pyramid?
Who's that?
I can't hear you. Did you do the whole pyramid with me?
I've done the whole pyramid.
Oh, wow. Well done.
Fantastic.
Absolutely brilliant. So it'll be good to hear from you later. Anybody else?
No.
How far did you get? Audrey, how far did you get?
I'm not going to lie, I haven't done it.
Okay, okay.
I'm do it, and I'm going to send it in during the week to Arthur.
Okay.
Arthur, thank you for your reply to my email as well.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Just enjoy and have fun more than anything else.
Okay. Sam, I know you wasn't here last week, so it's going to be explained this week, okay? It's going to be explained to you soon. All right?
Yep, okay.
Okay, and the same as you, Ken, it'll be explained to you soon.
Yeah,
So
thanks.
we're just going to see who's done there. Has anybody else managed to do anything for on their pyramid last week?
No, Auntie Jean, no, I haven't done anything. I'm very sorry, you know, but I didn't realize we had to do homework, so it probably goes to
You was told it was homework. No, that wasn't the homework, was it? Arthur gave something else for homework. It was like a riddle.
Okay.
He gave you a riddle for homework.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, no problem. You're digesting. That's good.
That's the way. Who is it that's completed?
Wumi.
Wumi, wow, well done. Well done, Wumi. You really are on a mission.
Yeah, well, she said she wants to get a degree. She's going for it.
That's right. Okay, superb. Okay, so let's push on now. Right, for those people that have struggled to get through their pyramid, don't worry about it. Take your time. It took me 3 weeks to do my one when I did it for the first time. So take your time and just figure out your words that you want to go. The important part here is the transition from one word to the next. So take your time and do it until you're happy with all the words that are on it. And let me just bring this over. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Hold on. That's it. Right. Oh, you haven't really, it's not really that good, really, is it? Okay, let me do this again. Right, so guys, for you guys that are only just coming for the first time, what we're doing is, Ken, have you got, none of these guys have actually got the workings, have they?
No, you're going to have to explain it. So I don't know how you want to go first. If you want to explain to the newcomers and then go on to the others, whilst the newcomers are going to be sitting there in wondering.
I know, that's what I'm worried about. The ones that have already completed it, that are going to be sitting there bored.
Not necessarily, you're going over, so it's refreshing as well, isn't it? At the same time, it's refreshing what was actually said last week. Okay, in the middle, Dawn said she's done her first line, 7 boxes, brilliant. What else? Carol, what was the second one? I think the second one is the second line up of the pyramid. What are the 2 pyramids? It's one pyramid that you're actually doing. with 7 boxes. Well, Arthur's going to explain.
Yeah, so what we're doing is we're building a brick wall so that each of the blocks are interlaid, so that you've got 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then you've got 5. Then you've got 4. Then you've got 3, 2, and then you've got 1. So you've got 7 across the bottom. And then you've got 7 lines going all the way out, but it will be explained in the paperwork when I send it to you.
Can everybody see that, or do you need to make it bigger? Can everybody see that, or does it need to be bigger?
It's very clear.
No, I
Okay.
can't see.
Can you make it bigger?
Can you
I
make
can't
it,
see.
is it possible to make it bigger, Arthur?
Sorry, I can't see because I think this is what happened last week. I couldn't see it, so I just went.
Well, for those that can't see it, I will be sending the paperwork through to you. So don't worry about not being. Well, you should be able to see that quite clearly. Can you see it?
Well, sorry, go on.
Can you say what they are? The boxes, then the 7 boxes. That might
Yeah.
help.
Is it possible to just do a bigger version for now, and you can rub it out?
Okay.
Thank you.
Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, I forgot. For those listening on Black Culture Radio, what Arthur is actually doing at the moment is drawing the pyramid, and with 7 boxes on the top going up to 1 box at the top. So you'll be making your pyramid so you can write in your boxes. So start with a pyramid shape, put 7 boxes at the bottom, and moving up 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 to the top. Okay.
Right, can everybody see that?
Is that clearer?
Yep. Yeah, I can see that.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
The line at the bottom, you missed out a couple of lines, yeah?
Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Mm-hmm. Well, the idea is that at the bottom of the pyramid you have, is it 7 boxes, isn't it? And then
Right.
6,
So
then 5, then 4, then 3, then 2, then 1 at the top.
That's right. So that you end up with a pyramid that goes across the top and across the bottom. So the whole idea of this is, and I'm only going to just go through this briefly. Those guys that didn't see it last week, please watch the first one because it will go through it in detail what this is all about. But basically what you're doing is you're filling up each of the words by using action and deeds that you have done to somebody else. Okay, so you start off with your actions. What have I done there? So, right, so actions will go all the way along the bottom. You might only just get to here. So you might have only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words. But I'm just doing this just to demonstrate how the pyramid actually works. So once you've got to the end of those things that you have done to somebody else, but by action and action only, you then get to words. So it's then words that you have done to somebody else that has hurt them or destroyed them in some way that was derogatory to that particular person. So I thought I would do it like this because it's easily explained.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it doesn't mean that you've got to get right the way through to the end. If you haven't got that, if you've only got 3 words, put 3 words. If you've only got 4 words, put 4 words. Until you end up with, once you've done your words, you then end up with thought. You then end up with words that are thought. Okay, so this is all your thought words. So these are words that you have thought badly of somebody or wished that you could have done to somebody because they've done something to you.
So could you repeat that? So the first 2 lines is did, or the first one is did, what you did?
That's right.
What is it, the first line or the first 2 lines?
First, it doesn't matter. It's not 2 lines. It's not what you're saying when you say the line. It could be 5 words. You just put 5 words. And then if it means that those words then go on to, those actions then go into words. So whereby you verbally abused somebody or whereby you have just said something nasty to somebody, didn't give them quite the time that they needed, you know, that's where you go, that's where you put those words in there.
Okay, so the line at the bottom is what you've actually done to somebody.
Yeah.
So you don't have to fill up all those boxes. It might just be 1 box or 2 boxes.
It could be just 1 or 2 boxes. You may have just killed someone, and you may have just actually harmed someone, and you may have just hit someone. You may have just verbally, you know, just gone through there. So you may have just ended up with those 1, 2, 3, 4 words. But it's what you have actually done in an action. So an action of whatever to a person. And then from there, you then go into words. So then you're looking at words where you verbally abused someone, where you verbally hurt someone by saying something to them. Oh, I don't like your hair, or your hair doesn't suit you like that. Or, you know, it could be anything that you think that you've done that has hurt somebody. And then it goes into thought. So whatever you have thought,
yeah, somebody's asked, is it through childhood or adulthood? It's actually throughout the whole of your life. So you're looking back at anything that you have done throughout your life. It doesn't have to be now. It could have been something you've done in your childhood that you think was really awful. But it's something that you feel that's really bad, or the worst thing that you could have ever done to somebody, you put down in those boxes. And then it's the worst thought you had of somebody. Is it? Have I got that right? The first thing you done to somebody.
Yeah. Carry on, Jean.
And the worst thing you've actually said to somebody. So you're moving up. So from the worst thing you've ever done to the worst thing that you've ever said to somebody, and then the worst thing you've ever thought of somebody. Yeah. So, and it doesn't have to be now, as I said, it could have been from any time, from childhood coming right up to your adulthood now. So that's why it takes some people a lot longer, because you've got to think back.
That's right. You're going back over the whole of your life and looking at what you've actually done to somebody else. So, you know, it's not something that can be done in straight away. Like I said, it took me 3 weeks to do my first one. So, you know, take your time and make sure you get it.
Yes, it means harm. What, to insects and animals too? If you want to put that too?
Yeah, if you want to put insects and animals, yeah, my God, if you've been wicked to an animal, yeah, why not? It's anything that you have done to somebody or something or an animal, yeah, why not? So if you killed a cat or you've done some damage to a dog or something like that.
And you're talking something intentional and not as an accident.
That's right.
Intentional.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Right.
So what happens with the top boxes?
So the top boxes are the thoughts.
All of them?
Yeah, because what you're doing is you're going from negative to positive.
Okay. Sam, do you have a question? Make it short, please. Sam?
Has Sam got his hand up?
Yeah.
Is
Sam,
Sam
do you
is
have a
Sam
question?
here?
Do you have a question, Sam? Okay. All right. Maybe it's an accident.
Okay.
All right. Carry on.
All right. So once you've ended up with going from the negative to the positive, and you've filled out all of your words, then you go on to module 2. But I will go through all of the words with you. Now, the whole idea of this particular process is for you to understand how you are able to transition from the negative to the positive. With the dyslexia, sometimes that can be very, very difficult because it's hard for you to actually understand exactly what's being said and what's being done. But basically, what you're doing is you're putting your words that you've hurt someone, and then you're putting your action things that you've done to somebody. You've punched someone, or you've verbally abused someone, and then you've thought, how could I hurt that person, or how could I kill that person, or whatever you come up with, until you get to the very top. But it's a process of going from the negative to the positive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could everybody still see the board? Because I see a couple of people in the chat said if you can move the boards and they can't see the words, but the words is written at the bottom is negative. The words at the top is positive.
Yeah. So are they saying that they can't see it? Because I can't see that.
Can you still see the board?
Beth?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, that's fine.
All right.
I mean, somebody's put in there insects. I mean,
not unless you go around deliberately, you know, putting stuff down, ants' nests, and you know, as you see something crawling on the floor, you're stamping on it.
Which we've all done.
Yeah. Sometimes you do that unwittingly.
We've all done that. That's right.
Well, I've killed a few ants' nests in my my garden to
especially
make way for my plants.
Yeah, especially flying ants.
Oh, they're horrible. Has anybody got any questions? Mice?
Mice, yes, why not? If your intention was...
You don't want to live with them, do you? So you either have to kill them or you find a way of getting them out or keeping them out.
That's right.
Talking about, my son does that anyway. He's got a business called Get 'Em Out.
Anger towards racism, yes.
So that will come under thoughts, will it?
Yeah. Well, you say yes, but I mean, you might have hurt someone. You may have gone out and had a fight with somebody because they were whatever, too white or too black or whatever the case may be. Racism is racism, isn't it? Mm. If you've gone after somebody because of the colour of their skin, it's outrageous. Right, so are we okay there with that one?
Well, I take the silence means okay.
Cool. Right. So with that said, I can now, let's progress a little bit further on. Like I said, all of those people that haven't seen the first one, give me that wasn't here last week, please have a look at the last week's taping video of last week's lesson and just go through that. It explains it in detail. It's really, really good, the way that it is explained in that particular chat. Right, so next, the whole idea of doing what you're doing is you are learning how to, or not learning because you've already learned the words that you've already put up there. But what you're actually doing now is you are writing down how you have transitioned from an action to your words, and how each word has had an effect on you throughout your life and your understanding. The way that your actions through your words and then through to your thoughts have created problems for yourself and to other people.
So you put an action in a box. So it's one action per box.
Yes.
One thought per box, one suggestion or one verbal aggression to somebody in a box, and you move slowly up.
So you have got 28 words to put down. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you've got 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Now, I take it that everybody's understood that, and that's Gratus Mintus, so that we can now move on from the actual pyramid. I've actually drawn it up here, and I've given you the words so that it's color coded.
A bit small.
At the bottom, you've got action, and then you've got words, which are in green, and then you've got thought, which is in red. I know it's a bit small, I will make sure that next time I do any more illustrations, it's a little bit more bigger so that people can actually see what's on the board. Right, so the next thing is so the next thing is, in dyslexia, you end up with information coming in. That information is broken up into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 parts of information. Now, through what I believe is actually happening with dyslexia is you've ended up with all of this information. So we'll say that that is smell, talk, sight, touch, feelings, and let's say pain. So this is the information that's coming in to your mind, and that information is then coming through, and then what happens is you end up with a trauma, something that has hurt you, or something that somebody's come over and hit you in the face, or you've been in a car accident. Now that trauma creates a stop.
You actually mentioned 5, not 7.
When?
You said 7, 2, 3, 4. I've got 6, sorry, 6, not 7.
Okay, let's put this one down as touch.
You got touch.
Can you say them again, please?
There's talk. Oh yeah, no, touch, yeah, I've got touch. So this one, what we can do is we can call this
Got here?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Can you need to repeat the words again?
Right, so the information that's coming in to your brain is smell, talk, so you're talking to somebody, you're smelling something, you can see something, you can touch something, or you're touching something. You may have a coffee in your hand or something or other like that. You may well be hearing something, and that might well be traffic or a train or something or other going by. You could be telling someone something, and then all of a sudden you hit some pain. Now, what happens to all of that information is when it hits the stop, it can't go no further, it just stops dead. And what happens to that information is that some of it goes through, some of it finds another way round. And the rest of it gets like a bottle, it ends up going through to a bottleneck, which all of the information then wants to come through that particular point. Now, what we end up with is in dyslexia or an action that has happened through pain or trauma. And I'm going to say this again. Let me give you a few more ideas as what this could be. This could be your father hitting you with the belt. This could be your mother slapping you across your head. This could be you having a fight. Yeah? This could be you having a car accident. This could be the breakup of a relationship. And that action there, the dead stop, is the pain. So that the information that is traveling, you might end up with that traveling over, that one traveling over. But the point that I'm trying to make here is that the information has been broken. It's no longer clear, and the information is not traveling smoothly in order for you to understand it at the other end. So what happens? Let me give you another one. The other one that I'm going to give you with what this could be is reading. So you've read a paragraph and then you say to yourself at the very end, what have I just read? And then it just goes blank. What is that? I saw the word the, it, at, done, flower, pond. It's not the full information that's coming through. So what happens is you end up with a lot of information then coming, trying done to somebody else. Now, if I turn this round now, and instead of being the person that has gone through this trauma, you're now the person that's delivering that. You've got talking, where you spoke to your victim. You have got a blow, where you actually hit the victim. You've got the sound of that hitting that person. You've got the sight of the fear that was in that person when you hit them. And you've got touching. How did you touch that person? How did you have hold of them? Was they on the floor? What, you know? So you've got a whole load of information there that you now need to be able to understand and try to get past, because now you're trying to understand why you did that.
Hello, Auntie Jean.
Yeah, hi.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm having trouble with my because I use a mobile phone, and I lost half of that. I got the pyramid and everything.
Yes.
I've only got 7% on here, and I think my cat bit my bit into my plug. So
okay, don't kill him for that though.
No, I won't. For God's sake. No, they're really loved. They are. No.
Okay.
So I've only got 7%, so I'll still stay on. But
Are you plugged in? Are you plugged in?
I am plugged in. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So. Okay. When he's finished this, if you've got are you still there?
Yes. Oh, yes. I'm still here. Yeah.
It is being recorded because there's a lot of information that's going through here.
Okay. So shall I stay on or just?
Yes, stay on.
It is being recorded, so it's really, really wise to try and go back over and try and see if you can.
Of course, yeah.
Go through it again, because there's a lot of information, and the reasons why I'm giving you all this information up front is because when you go on to module 2, module 3, module 4, module 5, you'll learn how to dismantle all of this trauma from being the victim to actually being the perp. I will show you how to understand what's gone on with when you're dealing with that kind of.
Did you want anybody to ask any questions about that?
Any kind of trauma.
Arthur, did you want anybody to ask any questions about that part?
I don't know really that it actually needs to ask a question, because what I'm trying to do now is to demonstrate to you what you are hoping.
Is there, could you suffer from dyslexia without having a trauma?
Well, ask yourself the question. When was the last time you read something that you got to the end of the paragraph and you didn't understand it?
Well, quite a few times. Does that mean that you had a trauma?
Yes, at some stage or other, you were at school and you were asked to do X, Y, and Z. And because of the action that had happened at some stage or other, it's now playing out in your ability to be able to understand and try to move forward with that trauma, which has affected those set of words that you've got in your pyramid.
Arthur.
Oh, sorry.
Arthur, can I share a point?
Yeah, of course you can. Please do. Don't forget, I'm learning here with this. This is the second time that I'm standing. I'm trying to explain something that is really, really quite complicated in trying to do it. And we all suffer with dyslexia in some way or form. And I'm trying to convey with my learning difficulties to you have your learning difficulties. So please, anything that you've got that will help me to be able to explain it better, to be able to demonstrate it better, please just feel free to.
Okay, so can I just say?
Go ahead, Angela.
Can I just say, I have a daughter.
Yeah.
And when she was about 6 or 7, I mean, she was fine at school. She could do her work. There wasn't an issue. And then when she was about 6.5, she fell off of like she was at the park walking on the beam and she fell off. And I heard when her head hit the concrete, because you could hear it was like bang. And I screamed and I ran up to her, picked her up, and she's crying, but then she seemed to be okay. And I was thinking, should I take her to the hospital? But because she seemed to be okay and there was no dizziness or anything, I said, okay. I bought her an ice cream, and we walked home. I kept an eye on her, and she was fine. She went to school, and by the time she was 7, the teacher called me in to the classroom and asked me, told me that she noticed something about my daughter. Yeah. And I do know that dyslexia tends to surface around the age of 7. So they say. And so what she was explaining to me was that she thought that my daughter had dyslexia because of some of what she was doing. She was extremely above her ability in terms of maths. But when to do with she read, so she didn't have an issue with reading, but when she was problem solving or processing, it seems it would come up at that point. So sometimes when she was writing her sentences, she was missing out things like capital, and she wasn't very badly dyslexic. So I paid for her to be assessed, and they said she was borderline dyslexic and that she had some processing difficulties. That was what was causing her issue at school. So obviously I supported her and worked with that.
Yeah.
But I believe that fall that she received was her trauma.
Yeah.
And from that trauma, it just came through that she had developed some kind of difficulty in processing. Yeah. And in, so I gave her lots and lots of comprehensions to do. I tried to got her a computer, talk through things, just did lots of stuff to enable her. I mean, she's grown up. She achieved what she did. She did her degree, and obviously they did a test there, and they said yes, she falls into that bracket. Completed her degree, but you can see that she's not, when it comes to literacy or English and stuff like that. She's not that, doesn't feel confident, but she's capable. But I do believe that her issue began when she sustained that injury. That was the only thing that I could think of that contributed in terms of what you're saying that could have caused her trauma.
Yeah.
Because she seemed to be okay, but maybe she could have been slightly dyslexic, but it didn't surface until she was 7. So,
well, my dyslexia, I mean, I totally understand what you're saying there. My dyslexia started when I was 4, and I ended up, I told everybody the story last week, what happened. Yeah, and that stayed, that ruined, that actually, I say ruined. It had an effect on me for the rest of my life. And at the age of 4, you just cannot express what actually happened. My suggestion to you is, how old is she now?
Oh no, she's 32 now.
She's 32, right?
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. Yeah. What I would ask her to do is to do a simple thing. draw some lines and ask her to place a word on all of those lines that she can remember.
Okay.
Yeah. And when she's completed all of those words that she can see, then ask her, how do you feel? Yeah, because what she's actually doing here is the receptors have blocked into her, maybe touch, maybe
pain, pain,
and pain. But get her to list out all of those words that she associates with that particular trauma that has happened.
Okay. So what was the second one you put there? What have you got under pain?
A blow.
Blow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And then once she's done all of that, you know, see how she feels afterwards. Because if for argument's sake, you're still talking to her and she's happy.
Yeah.
Once she's finished writing down all of the words, then she's dealt with that problem.
Okay.
If she's still not feeling, what's the word? If she's still not quite happy, then ask her to go back and continue sort of like coming up with other words that may have had a problem. So sight, you know, what did she see? What did she touch? And perhaps you might be able to, well, I personally feel that you'll be able to get to a point whereby she is able to recant everything that actually happened during that trauma. And now, because she's older, she can now associate all of those bits of pain that is associated with all those words, because each of these have pain attached to it in her mind. So when she's going through any kind of assimilation, the first thing that she's doing when she just thinks of thinking. So if she's sitting down and you're saying that she's having difficulty with simulating stuff, thinking and trying to, I can't remember what the word is. Processing, yeah, processing, perfect. She's having difficulty with processing, then all of these words have got pain associated to it. Pain in the sight of what she saw, pain in the touch, pain in the blow, pain in the touch.
Okay.
Now, that feeling, let me try to explain this to you. I don't know if I can get this across, but I'm going to try and put it into words. You know, when you've experienced something that's like a blank, a blank in your mind, and because we've all got there, we've all been there, but the problem is whether or not we all remember that actual action. We've all gone through a part where we've experienced something and it's a blank. Now that blank is an assimilation of all of that information coming in and coming to a dead stop. It's trying to get through the bottle and it doesn't know. There's too much going out there. So in effect, what happens is you end up with all of the words going in
and just coming to a blockage. It's just
coming to a blockage. So what happens is you end up with too much information there to assimilate. Don't forget, the whole idea of this is that receptor should be, or that wave should be straight. For you to be able to hear, for you to be able to totally understand, this should not be here. This should not be here.
Right. So because of the blockage, it stops the information from going through the direct lines.
Information should seep right the way through straight.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what we've got here is we've got trauma.
Yeah. Somebody said like a knot.
Yeah.
It's exactly like a knot. If you can imagine, I would liken it to strands. Let's say that each of the strands are sticky. Yeah, so all of these strands here are sticky. Yeah.
So they interlock. They interlock?
No, they're sticky.
They fuse. They fuse together.
No, don't go too fast. Each of the signals that's going through here along this strand is sticky. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Now imagine the shock. The shock comes in and it goes bam. Now, what happens with our reaction if we're going to do something or we're going to fall? We put a hand down, or we do this, or we do something. We do something that's going to stop at the break, stop the fall, bam. What happens is at the moment that that shock hits you, those strands of information become fused. Become fused together. So then you end up, instead of the signal going through clean and clear, what's actually happening is it's one big jumble.
Okay.
And then what comes out at the end is, I don't understand.
Gobbledygook.
Yeah, I don't understand. What did you say? I heard the word that. I felt cold. And then I can remember trembling. Do you see what I mean?
Mm.
The rest of the information is completely blocked. Now, the same thing for you. When you're going through and you're building your pyramid, this is what you are going through, but in the opposite of that. So what you're doing is, instead of looking at the things that have made you react, because we know that we will be able to, and I will be able to show you later on how to deal with all of the things that we know that have happened to us. It's the things that we have done to others which is more important at this precise moment in time, because once you understand what you have done to someone, you'll easily be able to understand what it is when it's happened to you.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the whole idea of doing the modules and creating your pyramid, which is why your words are the most important things that go in your pyramid. Once you've done your pyramid, those 28 words, believe it or not, will be totally explained to you throughout. But that's why I'm doing and giving you the first module completely free, because if you understand this part, the rest of it will be able to stack on the information that you've already got.
Sir. Hello?
Yes, Sam?
Yes, ma'am. Professor, did you
No, please, I don't call me professor, honestly, I'm just like you.
No, I've been
because you are very trauma.
Very...
Let me just explain to you, I've been through my trauma, and God has given me a gift in being able to write down.
That's exactly why you're a professor, sir. You're a professor because it is a knowledge happened to you completely, not read from the books, but from what happened. That's why you're a professor, you're professing something truthful, what happened to you. So all I'm trying to say, sir, I also had an episode of trauma long time ago in 1987. No, 77. At which point I was put in prison by a Min's regime and I was beaten up completely. And I was very, very traumatized by uniformed people, especially MMN. If I saw them, I would freeze for about a second and then realize, oh, by the way, I'm not no longer in Uganda, I'm in Nairobi now. So it's okay, it's okay. But this one, so I read a book by Professor Murphy of Harvard University, who discovered post-traumatic stress disorder in the journals of literature, medical literature, for which it was 1983 that I published it after the Vietnamese soldiers killed more people in America than they kill on front line. Post-traumatic stress, that's what it does. So I read about, it's called the post-traumatic stress disorder anti-recovery. And so with me, I was trying to understand the physical pain you have and the emotional pain and emotional disorder that you get when you tell us, or rather the lady was trying to allude that her daughter cannot be able to process the information she gets because of the trauma she had when she hit her head on the floor.
Yeah.
And then also what I want to know is how does the physical pain like that becomes emotional distortion?
Well, the one thing that I've been able to understand is that one of the biggest problems that we have is being able to express ourselves. So being able to go from an action or a trauma, something experienced, and being able to express it is a huge part of what I go through. Yeah, you're using your words in order to go through what you have done to somebody else. You'll also be able to turn that around and help yourself. So the problems that we have, and I illustrated this last week by saying two simple words. Well, I say two simple words by saying one of the things that children of my day grew up with was, if I fall over, my mum would say to me, "What are you, a man or a mouse?" And as a child, I grew up not being able to express what I'd actually gone through by falling over.
That brought me up like, be a man, not a mouse.
Exactly.
When I was beaten, I don't cry.
So when you're told that, you are then told to hide your emotions.
Exactly. Of which I don't have up to now.
Exactly.
And that's very true, sir.
So.
But I thought that post-traumatic stress disorder is normally cured by time as well as the change of environment. That's the only medicine they give. That's the psychoanalysts tell you that that's only cure. Change environment, and therefore, time itself can heal more than anything else.
Yeah, but
that's only medicine we can get.
Time itself only helps you with dealing with it or living with the problem. You see, it's all well and good living with a problem, but you've still not understood the problem or not been able to remove the problem. And what you're trying to do through this discovery of going through the 8 steps is being able to look at the problem and being able to understand it, deal with it, and move on from it.
To reconcile yourself
can I
with the
say-
reality of what happened to you. Reconcile. To reconcile yourself with what happened to you either long time ago. Reconcile yourself with it, and therefore realize what happened to you at the time may not repeat itself again.
Yeah, but those words or the action that make up that whole. All right, let me just go through one other thing that I actually showed everybody last week.
Okay.
So let's look at dyslexia itself, which is something that we all deal with or we all have. Dyslexia runs like this, and this is the way that I see it. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is the whole information. Yeah? So that is the information. A dyslexic, when it happens, or how it's described, is you may only pick up 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. And this is actually how it's transmitted in the way that we read. Because you'll remember some words in the paragraph, some words you understand, and some words you just don't understand.
Okay.
All right. In extreme cases of dyslexia, which is erring on towards the brilliance of somebody, and the reasons why I say the brilliance of somebody is because they end up with so much information that they can't get it out or find the words.
Right.
And in trying to find those words, they'll end up with the information being as small as this, that they can remember 1, 5, and let's go 10. All this is a jumble of information, a huge amount of information. We've seen dyslexia, the way that it expresses itself in people through artists, through other people being able to deal with information, and it comes out in their art, or mainly by today's thing, or it's anger. Because they don't know how to translate those words. All they've got is the information coming in, anger, and then number 5, slightly a bit of relief. Then all of a sudden anger again, and then 10. And they've gone off into a corner and they don't understand what's actually happened. So this is what you're dealing with. Dyslexia is something that I believe that we all suffer with in some form. And that's associated with pain or trauma that we've experienced in our childhood. Imagine a child seeing his father hit his mother, and he doesn't know what words to use, but he feels fear. His body trembles. His lips move up and down. He's cowering up in the corner. His body wants to shrink. He wants to hide. He doesn't understand any of this. So the trauma that is built up is a misunderstanding between your expression and how you express your words. And again, this is what we unlock going through the 8 steps. because it's a lot of information to try and pass through. Is there any questions to anybody with regards to this? That's pretty good. Is there any questions that anybody would like to ask me that are continuing to do their pyramid? Because what I want to do now, with just a little bit of time that's left, is I want to, or you all to hear what I'm going to say, but I want you to also take notice. Sumi? Is that her name? What was her name?
Wumi.
Wumi?
Yeah, greetings.
Right. Greetings, Wumi. Right, when you are wanting to study what you want to study, I hope that you will do the 8 steps with me, because I will be able to show you exactly what you're actually going to have to need and what tools you'll need in order to be able to process what you're actually going into. But, and I say but, I'm going to give you a little illustration, and how can I explain it? We are an intuitive race. So being slaves, chucked on a boat, brought across here on a boat, and now we're trying to assimilate the English language in words that bear no assimilation to the words in our native language. So all of a sudden, we don't understand any of it, because the process is almost going through telepathy. Being intuitive, you walk in front of somebody and you talk to somebody for the first time, and you automatically dislike that person. You don't know why you dislike that person, you just dislike the person. There's no reason for it. But that energy of that person has come and disrupted your energy, and all of a sudden it's bam, I don't understand it. Now, you either like it or you don't like it. And 9 times out of 10, what we do is we throw away what we don't like. We don't want to deal with something that we don't understand. So what we will do is we will push it to one side and say, I don't like that guy. Well, why don't you like him? There was no reason, I just don't like him. Or it may be the complete opposite. Wow. That guy is my number 10. Look at his smile. Look at his ears. Look at his nose. Something, we don't know why, but it borders on telepathy. Intuition is what this course is all about. It's the bedrock of what I'm going to be teaching you, and how to be able to move from that intuitive understanding, which is where you are now, Rumi, in an intuitive level of understanding, to turning that to a literal way of understanding. Because there's a difference. There's a difference between walking into a room and not taking no notice of somebody, as opposed to understanding somebody and liking that person. A huge difference. So if you stick with it, I'll be able to help you to look at it literally.
Thank you. That's what
And
I
there
need.
is some magic that I'm going to show you that you didn't even know you possessed.
Wow. Can't
But I'm
wait.
giving you this information now because from where you are, I was dyslexic. Went back to university, couldn't do physics, couldn't do blah. didn't understand. But through intuition and through being able to visually understand what's being shown to me, I've been able to grasp it. And in a way that is far, far more beneficial for you than words.
That's what I need.
You'll have a patient come in and they'll go blah, 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 and you'll be able to go, oh, right, touch here. Yeah, okay, I can feel, yeah, oh my. Your intuition will kick in and then move into another space, which you're now going to get the tools in order to bolster that intuition so that you can bring forward a part of you that you find difficulty in understanding at the moment now. So that's what this is all about, and hopefully will help you at the end. And I pray that I will be able to get that across to you, because that's the journey that I've been on. To be able to have something in my mind, transfer it to paper, and then give it to somebody, and then a few years later end up with a product that is now on sale, out on the market. There's not many people that have actually done that. Because the transition across each of the markets that you go, each of the industries that you go through is vast. Absolutely vast.
But Asa, can you explain it further? The difference between intellect and intuition. Is there any difference? Intuition and intellect?
I mean, I would like to look at it like this. I would say that intuition to intellect would be described by me as being literal as opposed to being intuitive.
No, literal, what does literally or literal?
Literal. So I'm literally going to tell you, or I'm literally going to do this, or I'm literally going to pick this up. Yeah, I'm literally going to create this. As opposed to saying, I'll pick up the pen. Okay, I can see the pen. My intuitive side of me, I can see that all the way around. I haven't got to pick the pen up. I can see it. I can see the cloth. I don't need to pick it up. I can look all the way around. I can see it. It's not folded. It's ruffled. It's dirty. Yeah, that's a cloth. And there's a vast difference between intuition and the intellect, if you'd like to call it the intellect. I wouldn't like to call it the intellect, because I personally believe, well, what I believe is of no consequence really, but I believe that intellect is overrated.
Underrated or overrated?
Overrated.
Yeah, they are right. Some people
because you can have tons of intellect, but not have an ounce of common sense.
Exactly.
You know, you could explain to me why the moon is spinning around at that speed, and you'd be able to draw the mathematical equation for why that's actually happening, but you couldn't tell me why the sun is that color on sunset.
Exactly, you are right.
You know,
intellect, I mean, intuition is far. You see something, you know already.
Yeah.
I mean, that's intuition. You know already what it might be.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but
that's what I'm saying.
Through language, it's bashed out of us.
Exactly.
Through language, our intuition is thrown away and disregarded.
That's very true. That's modernity, sir.
Yeah, because
That
we
is
believe
science,
that
the
the
scientific.
intellect is more important.
How much more? I thought so.
So when we understand that we've got a different language that we're brought up with, and now we've got to assimilate that through an intuitive way, you can see the difference between the void. I wish if I had another an intuition. What can I say to you? If you could say to me, pick up that pen in your language, what would you say?
In my pen.
In your home language, right? In your language.
Swahili.
Tell me to pick up that pen.
Shika kalamu iyo.
Shika
kalamu.
Say it again.
Shika kalamu.
Pick up that pen.
Yeah, that's what.
Say it again.
Shika kalamu.
Pick up that pen.
Yeah.
Say it again.
Shika kalamu.
Pick up the pen.
Yeah.
Say it again.
Yeah.
Carry
Say
on.
it again. Shika kalamu.
Pick up the pen.
Yeah.
Say it again.
Shika kalamu.
Thank you. Shika kalam.
Yeah, exactly.
Now you say it.
Yeah, that's what you said.
No,
Yeah,
I'm saying it. Shika kalam. Now you say it in English.
Pick up pen.
See? Can you see it?
Exactly.
So
you see, that's what I thought intellect, actually. Intelligence, what intelligence means, to me, is the social conditioning, rather than innate. That's innate intelligence, which intelligence, that's intuition. But intellect is what you adapt when you are being civilized, sir, as they call it now, in the global or sciences, whatever scientific has done. That's what I'm talking about. It is social conditioning, I thought.
That's right. Well, thank you very much, all of you. If there is anything that anybody wants to ask me, because what I'm asking you to do here is to now have a new, and I'm going to use the words, these are words that are used by other people, a new slant on life, because where you are now going is you are looking at a problem from a new perspective. And what you are going through will change your perspective.
Okay, can I just ask, you set us a task last week,
yeah,
which was to look at this, you gave us a sentence,
yeah,
understand, give you understanding of the sentence below. Little in this world is harder than caring about someone when the feelings cause you to hurt.
Right.
So are we going to do that task now?
Do you know what? I was going to do it this week, but I'm not going to. And the reasons why I'm not going to is because you have formulated something already in your mind. Correct me if I'm right or wrong.
No, I haven't.
You haven't? Okay. Good. Understanding of the difficulties in rewiring the way that you think. It's not easy at all. Right, and for those of you that wasn't here last week, have you got a pen and paper ready? Can you all just shout out when you've got a pen and paper in front of you? I think it's three of you.
Yes.
Yeah, everybody?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. Right, start by writing this down. Let me see if my dyslexia doesn't fail me this week. Little in this world is harder than caring about someone when the feelings cause you to hurt.
Someone is about someone who you hurt.
Right, so I'm going to read it out to you again. Little in this world is harder than caring about someone when the feelings cause you to hurt. Now, those of you that are just getting it just for this week, just think about it, and I want you to try and write down, you're in your own words what is being said. For those of you that had it last week that haven't been able to assimilate it, let's hope after what I've been able to help you with today may have been able to help you to understand those words.
Okay, read that sentence again.
Little in this world is harder than caring about someone when the feelings cause you to hurt. We're talking about trauma. Yeah, and we're talking about understanding the information that's traveling through. So I'll read it again, and I'll emphasize on the parts that you need to be just trying to look at. Little in this world is harder than caring about someone when the feelings cause you to hurt.
When the feeling causes you to hurt, I don't understand this. It's very complicated. I don't understand the category.
It's like a riddle.
It's very much so.
So break it up, break it down, split it out, split it up.
Because what you're doing at the moment now is you're listening through it and understanding it through the dyslexic point of view, the dyslexia that you have, and you're trying to understand something because there are words here that make you think of those words outside of your pain.
Okay.
And that's all.
It's coming up to 9 o'clock.
Yeah, right. There you go, folks. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope I've been able to explain things through to you so that you can understand it.
I will look at it. I will think about it for a long time.
Yeah, you've written it down, Sam. Yes.
Read or complete.
Have you written it down, Sam?
I have done that.
Okay.
I marked it completely to.
Because Angela has kindly wrote it into the chat. So if you save the chat, you'll be able to have it if you haven't written it down.
Yeah, definitely. I have written it down.
Okay, and the link is in the chat also from last week's session.
Yeah, cool.
So you can look at last week's session, and you should be able to also see this week's session because it was going out live on Facebook as well. So you'll be able to see that, as well as going out live on Black Culture Radio. So thank you to those listening Black Culture Radio, which is all done is blackcultureradio.com.
I don't have Facebook, Sister Jean.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll upload last week's and I'll upload this week's onto YouTube. Are you on YouTube?
I can access YouTube. What?
YouTube,
how would I access it on YouTube from you?
Via going to Auntie Jean Zone.
Okay,
ZONE.
Yeah, let me write this down.
Yeah.
Auntie Jean
Zone on YouTube.
Zone or Zoom.
Auntie
Zone.
Jean.
No,
Zone.
we are watching live on Zoom. It's actually been recorded on Facebook via Auntie Jean on Facebook, and I will upload it to the YouTube, which is Auntie Jean Zone.
Yeah, I've got that.
Yeah, it's two separate words. Auntie, one, IE,
Yeah.
not the
Yeah, I've got
Y,
that.
and zone.
So sorry, I've typed it in wrong.
Yeah.
In the chat.
Okay. I'll put it in.
I'm doing it.
Okay.
Jean,
Yes,
do
Sam.
you know that you are talking about traditional or cultural medicine? Do you want to know
Sorry?
about something that I can do about traditional medicine or cultural medicine? I don't know what they call it. Medicine.
Cultural, you mean natural?
Natural, yeah, natural, exactly natural, I think.
For what?
You know, I can treat polio, madam.
You're gonna have to give us a call back because
Yeah,
this
I
at
will
the
let you
moment is
know.
not the chat. What I'm gonna do,
Yeah.
I'm gonna call on, we're gonna have a session with Russ Alkaline and probably Dr. Aubrey. And
Yeah.
so you'll be able to ask them, okay?
Exactly.
So look out for the link and the email for when Russ Alkaline and Dr. Aubrey are on the African Culture Market or the
Right,
Garvey
right.
Village, okay?
Right then.
Okay, all right then, Sam.
Okay.
Last words, Arthur, if you want to make sure everybody knows what they're doing. Anybody got any questions before we wrap up? Okay, that was fit in, wasn't it? Okay.
Everybody enjoy, and hopefully I'll see you next week. And
Thank you.
see
And thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you. I well appreciate. Can't wait for the rest.
Make sure I will not going to miss any of this.
Okay, so we see you next week, Monday, same time, 7 o'clock. I don't know if we should do 7 till 9 because I put 7 till 8:30.
and then we finish at 9.
Okay.
That's
All right.
great. That's dramatic.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you very much,
The link will be
Professor
the link is the same. The link is the same link. The next
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much, everybody.
See you next week. Good night.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Good night. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Good night to everybody on Facebook and good night to everybody on Black Culture Radio. Thank you for listening to the Auntie Jean Zone on Black Culture Radio, which is all the W's, blackcultureradio.com. So
God
looking
bless
forward
you,
to seeing you next week.
Everybody
Good
should
night.
have an Auntie Jean.
An attitude. That's what I do.
Good
We
night.
have
The hits just keep on coming. Don't touch that dial. This is Black Culture Radio.